Hey everyone, in this video we're really going to be discussing how to implement offline conversion tracking and why offline conversion tracking is really going to change Google Ads forever, right? So this is something that's kind of been implemented for a while, but we're starting to see larger and smaller advertisers take advantage of this. And all offline conversion tracking really is that when someone fills out a form, that is a conversion, right? When a form becomes a sale, that is an offline conversion. That's something that Google can't always track natively, right? However, you can create conversion data loops that can feed offline conversions like sales back into Google, so then Google can optimize around sales instead of just leads, right? And what this does is it helps you build a campaign that's not around cost per lead as your primary KPI, but more so, a return on ad spend or ROI strategy, which is extremely effective. So when you do implement conversion tracking, you're really going to start, just go into conversions, hit offline conversions, and hit import. And import is going to allow you to, it says offline lead conversion. So you're going to click that, and you're going to click just other sources or CRMs, depending on how you want to import this, and then track conversions by clicks, and hit continue. And then it's going to give you a few different options in here, right? So you're going to either hit qualified lead or converted lead. So we're going to do, all the way down the sales cycle, as a converted lead is someone that has become a sale, closed, or in some way brought back revenue, right? So for this example, we're going to call this, an HVAC lead that fills out a form and that actually pays for service, right? And you can create really dynamic offline conversions where it can be, a converted lead that has booked $3,000 worth of services, or a converted lead that has booked only $500 worth of services, right? So this can really help dial in your ROAS strategy. So we're going to say, booked HVAC job. And we're going to use a different value for each. Actually, no, we're going to use the same value for each conversion. And I like to do this because it allows me to create a ROAS bid strategy option. So use your average HVAC job, and this helps give Google an idea of what every sale really brings you, right? So you could do about, something, it depends on your business, it's different for everyone. And we're going to count only one conversion. Every is more of like a shopping aspect, so like if one lead comes in and buys multiple things, right? Whereas it's generally not the case here. And then you're going to hit create and continue. Okay, and turn on enhanced conversions for leads, agree. And then we're going to talk about the import method later, but we're going to finish the setup, right? Because really all that we need here is this conversion action name. Then we're going to talk a little bit about, really like the steps to track conversions offline. So it all starts when someone searches HVAC company, right? They click on an ad and they get to, a page, right? When you look at this URL string, you are given a Gclid ID. So every click from Google has a unique identifier. Here it is. It can be really long. And the way you turn this on is you go into your account settings and you click auto tagging, and you want to make sure auto tagging is clicked on. And that is just basically gives Google permission to add that Gclid to every single click to track it, right? So getting your Gclid in your URL, step one. But then how do you go about finding that Gclid in a form fill and then pushing it into your CRM, right? So that goes into your specific form builder. So at Turnkey Lead, we really love utilizing Tripetto. And Tripetto has a lot of different options to build comprehensive forms on the back end, and then push them to a page like this. So this is one of our, HVAC template landing pages. And when you go here, it can ask every dynamic question you need, right? What kind of work do you need help with? What type of work? But the beauty of this page is that if you scroll down, you can create hidden fields that pull in, UTM and tracking metrics, and even your Gclid right here. So when someone fills out this form, there are hidden fields that pull in our Gclid without them even knowing or without them even seeing. So the UI is really beautiful, right? And in Tripetto, the way you actually configure it is you hit we'll click this. So you just create a hidden field. You hit change type. You go down to hidden field right here. This is already selected. You name it Gclid because that's exactly the way Google pulls it. So basically, you're basically telling the Tripetto form, look in my URL, find the query named Gclid, and then pull in whatever is after that, right? And so Tripetto can do this dynamically by utilizing a query string and then setting your query parameters, right? And so this helps tell Tripetto, hey, find the query string labeled Gclid and pull in that information, right? So then when someone actually fills out a form, you can go into your results and scroll down, and boom, it has all your universal tracking metrics, HVAC, your campaign, your geo, and then it has the same Gclid that is labeled up here. And so that is how you actually are able to pull in that really valuable information and then loop it right back into Google, right? So we can go back to Google. We can go into uploads. And so you can schedule uploads, which is actually a really cool aspect, right? So you can create some Zapier automations. So every time someone fills out a form, that Gclid is pushed into Google. Or I'm sorry, every time they fill out a form and then close, you can create some automations in Zapier and in your CRM, right, to push that data. If you're working with Salesforce, you can actually push it in dynamically. But we're actually going to go to the templates and show you what these templates look like. So from conversions from clicks, we're going to go to the Google Sheet and open it up. And Google will actually tell you, so basically Google only needs a few information. It needs the Google Click ID, right? So that's the Gclid. Conversion name, right? So that's what we were talking about earlier. We'll go back to our summary. So it needs to know that it's coming from converted lead booked an HVAC job. That needs to come in right here. Whatever time they originally filled out the form, their conversion value, and the currency, right? So this is where you can be like, hey, this ID, Gclid, booked an HVAC job and brought in $4,000 worth of revenue, and then just put USD or whatever country currency you're utilizing, right? And so you create the spreadsheet and you just schedule it with Google, right? So go back to uploads, or you can do it whenever you want to, right? Every time you get a job that's closed, if you have a smaller sample size. But I recommend at scale you schedule this through that Google Sheet, and basically it's like once every Monday at 8, go and pull the data in the spreadsheet, right? That's getting pushed from your CRM. And again, that is how you're able to actually configure Google ad bid strategies that focus on revenue, not cost per lead, right? Again, we're seeing the future of online advertising and just digital marketing, Google ads, Facebook ad, or Meta ads, I should say, and really all pay-per-click ads. It's going to be revenue-based because at the end of the day, the advertisers that are focusing on revenue are going to be way more competitive and can be way more sustainable in how they build out these campaigns. So yeah, that's just like a 100-foot overview of really how to configure your Gclids, how to track offline conversions, and how to send that data right back to Google.